Now, this is the only little section that they brought up to look like people should live there. Other than that, if you go on that corner, did you go to the addresses?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, did you see what's around it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, does it not look like we're in a third world country over there?
There's definitely some concerns.
Okay, well, that's all this is about. The water which the city was giving is a fine gesture to help with. And when I suggested them as a commissioner, I said to them, the city of Deerfield Beach cannot help you pay staff and pay other administrative costs. You need to get this money and use it for a purpose that will benefit all of the citizens.
All the citizens within those buildings.
In those buildings and in District 2. Okay, because over there you have a poor situation where you have, you know, the last to be hired and the first to be fired, all this layoff, all this vacancy. And they had the building since 1992. No one thought that they would fail now, but due to the economic times, you have the financial statement there, and whatever you can do to help, we appreciate it. We don't intend to ask you for no more. I don't intend, as long as I'm here, to ask you for no more for Westside Business Band. I don't think I want to ever go back on my word. The last time I did not vote because my daughter is the chairperson of that board, who has not received not one penny since 1990. My husband and her and other business people organized that group because of the deficiencies and the lack of diversity within that district. Now, here we come. I said to the city attorney, I might have to vote. I would hope I wouldn't have to, with my daughter being there, to show any impropriety or even put in a person's mind that she's benefited. She's here. She can answer for herself. So if you want to ask her a question.
Well, I'd like to get the opportunity to, yeah.
Yeah, ask her a question. If you want to put her under oath, I'm sure she could stand being under oath.
No, I'll take her word for it.
But I know that I asked Mr. Moroder to make this resolution based on affordable housing. And that affordable housing, either you need to give me some water, you need to give me some renovations in dilapidated kitchens, some new stoves where people is cooking on 1 and 2 hours. You know, if you had this kind of question, I would have appreciated that you asked me.
I can't. Sunshine laws would not allow me to do that.
You wasn't elected then.
Okay. Well,
you just got elected last week.
Let me ask you, would you consider having a workshop on this? Because obviously you're not going to get in this way about the money and where it's going, and then all the figures will be presented to us, and we can have a public workshop on it, and then all the answers.
Well, that would give the sunshine law. I'm hoping, and then I'm also hoping if you have a workshop, my 4 years is up on the 2-year term. If you want to carry it over, that's fine. Maybe I won't ask for no vote. I'll just do what I need to do accordingly.
Right.
When it's time to vote, okay?
Okay.
But I can vote tonight. I need that. So
right.
If just Mr. Gans is against it, let him discuss it with them. Then after that, I would suggest you take a vote if nobody else is against it.
That's fine. If it's all right, I would like to ask some questions if I can get answered. That might help this along. And thank you for providing the statement, Mr. Poitier. I appreciate that because I did request this, and I wish we'd gotten a little bit earlier, but that might have helped things. My concern is this, and as I told you before on the phone, is that this is $60,000 now going towards you guys in 6 months. Clearly, the water bill was not paid before 6 months ago. It was brought up to speed in September when you received the $30,000 at that time. You're asking for an additional $30,000, yet there hasn't been a payment made since then to the city for their water bill. My concern is this, is at what point does this end? I understand you're having some difficulties, and a lot of people are. I just want to get some assurances that coming back to the well again. This isn't something that's going to be a recurring thing. I understand that you told me that you're looking to do some restructuring. You have to get up to speed, obviously, or you have to catch up on what the outstanding water bill is. But and when I mentioned good faith, my concern was this: there has not been a single payment of the water bill since you received the last $30,000. So now we've accrued up to over $15,000. My concern is here we are giving another $30,000. What are we going to do to prevent this, and what can we do moving forward?
Well, moving forward, we are going to restructure so that...
Pick up your mic.
I'm sorry. So that, yes. So that we're trying to get a better occupancy rate. Right now, that's our problem with the way things are. We get a lot of move-ins and move-outs, and it's kind of tough. And we're borrowing, and we're trying to keep the mortgage going. We're trying to keep the other bills going. But we do intend to maintain the water bill from this point on.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Could you please state your name for the record? I know who you are, but
I'm
we just
sorry.
started.
Yes. My name is Sylvia Poitier.
Thank you.
My concern on this is looking at the financial statements you've given us. You guys are upside down. It looks like, you're taking in $65,000, yet your expenditures are $114,000. Is this a ship that can be righted, or are we putting in good money after bad? I just want to make sure that
No,
we're not doing that.
We cannot consider it putting good money after bad, because we are trying to help people. And it's tough sometimes to put somebody out when they have
Absolutely.
little kids. And so we try to give them a chance, and we go as long as we can with them, because it's tough, and you hate to put them out because they have nowhere else to go. From us, they're homeless, and it's tough to put a family out.
Even with this
But
extra...
we hate to do it, but we're going to have to raise the rents. Excuse me, we're going to raise the rents.
I hope you don't raise all that dilapidated stuff.
Come on now, you have to be fair. We have to try to cover our expenses as best we can.
This $30,000 is still going to leave you with the $20,000 deficit, looking at the financial statement that you gave us. Is that something you're going to be able to make up with the rent raising, especially if the people can't afford it now? How are they going to afford a raising of the rent?
Well, that's going to be getting, like I said, trying to get the occupancy rates up.
Okay.
The apartments that are empty now, the people who will be moving, we hope, who can move in, will have to pay a higher rent.
Okay.
Now, we're not going
You
to
can
go
apply
back.
for stimulus money. They got some stimulus money for that.
Well, my concern is that the language in here just say that you're requesting a bailout, which I think was just unfortunate terminology. I think you've answered my questions.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Mr. Gantz, I received a letter as the mayor, and I'm going to bring it back to the city manager tomorrow, that for situations as this, you can apply for stimulus money. When you're keeping families in a home or in a place, I think they qualify.
I would prefer to do that than use our taxpayer dollars at this
Yeah,
time.
well, it's still taxpayers' dollars when you go to the federal government. That's my money,
Yes,
too.
ma'am.
That
It is.
stimulus, AIG, and all of them having a good time on, that's my money.
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Poitier, do you have a motion?
No, I would hate to make a motion, but I better make it, though. I move that we award this and let the West Side businessmen know that this is the last time they could come to the city of Deerfield Beach for community outreach funds. I don't want to get it mixed up, because there will be other people. We need to have a workshop on the Choto, which is totally different.
Yes,
Because
ma'am.
they get Dan Poitier and Sylvia Poitier mixed up. So I'd like to move that we approve the $30,000 and let them know no more.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Do I have roll, please?
Yes. Commissioner Gantz?
No.
Commissioner Miller?
Yes.
Commissioner Popelski,
No.
Vice Mayor Poitier,
Yes?
and Mayor Nolan.
No.
Can we discuss that one more?
Right.